Tones and I is an Australian singer-songwriter on the rise. Back in January 2019, she was just an unknown musician busking on the streets, but by the end of that year, she was a chart-topping hitmaker. Keep watching to discover her untold truth. Tones and I, whose real name is Toni Watson, hails from Australia's Mornington Peninsula. If there's one person who can claim some degree of credit for her success besides herself, it's Jackson Walkden Brown. A seasoned music lawyer and assistant professor of law at Bond University, Walkden Brown is the singer's co-manager through his firm Artists Only. He discovered her during her first night of busking in the town of Byron Bay. As he walked by, he couldn't help but notice the sizable crowd she'd attracted. As he told the Industry Observer, "I heard the beautiful things about her voice. She did that top-end growl, which she refers to as a bark. She had just the beautiful tone. I was immediately drawn to it." What really sealed the deal for Walkden Brown was Tones' incendiary cover of Outkast's Hey Ya. His jaw dropped and he gave her his business card. A week later, she called him up and he delivered his best pitch for why he should be her manager. A deal was struck and she became his first client. While busking gave Tones and I the opportunity to develop as a performer and hone her songwriting, it wasn't exactly making her a millionaire. In fact, when she first arrived in Byron Bay, she was so broke that she was forced to live in the van she drove there in. Looking back though, she now sees those months as a magical, transformative time. As she told Australia's Nova radio network, "When I was busking, when I was paying for petrol with silver coins, or when I was sneaking into hostels so I could park my van up and sleep in it, I had the best time of my life." Despite her nostalgia for her busking days, Tones wasn't exactly planning on keeping things that way forever, as her living conditions soon improved dramatically in the months that passed. In a November 2019 interview with the Sunday Times, she marveled, "Last night I was at the NRJ Awards in France, and they put me in the presidential suite. Last year we were sleeping on mattresses on the floor, scraping up enough change to buy a packet of tobacco." Tones and I was well on her way to success after landing a manager, but continuing to move forward would take some careful planning. Time was of the essence. She moved out of her van in order to live with Walkden Brown and his family, and he immediately put her to work in his studio. As Walkden Brown told the Industry Observer, "It was pretty hectic in the sense that we dove right into it, but she really gelled with us." He also encouraged Tones to keep busking so that she could continue to develop her performing skills. As he recounted, "We'd go down together on Friday and Saturday night. Most of the time we'd be together. Sometimes she'd take a friend with her. It was pumping at the time, which it always is in Byron in the summer. It literally went off from the get-go. We didn't have a bad night." Buzz began to build and the crowds grew larger. As Walkden Brown described it, "We were getting shut down by the police in a few weeks. The crowds were spilling onto the street and becoming dangerous." While working in her manager's studio, Tones and I recorded the song Johnny Run Away. In February 2019, she uploaded it to Triple J Unearthed, a website run by Australian radio station Triple J, on which musicians are encouraged to share their music in order to gain exposure. After uploading it, she went for a walk. While she was walking, a lot began to happen. As she recounted to Billboard, "Everyone was messaging me like, 'You've got to go look at your track online.' Everyone from Triple J was commenting on the song within half an hour." It's no exaggeration to say that Johnny Run Away put Tones on the map over the course of an instant. As she told Blank Gold Coast, "It was crazy. I was so caught off guard. I love the track so much, but to see that others feel the same way is mind-blowing, out-of-this-world shiz. I'm honestly just thankful. Thankful to myself, thankful to my team, and thankful to everyone and Triple J and Unearthed for really giving this track every opportunity to thrive." Within 12 hours of Johnny Run Away arriving on Unearthed, it was being played on Triple J Radio. Listener reaction was through the roof, and it was beyond anything that Tones could have imagined. As she told Australia's ABC, "I've always gone on to Unearthed and seen other people's songs and reviews, and never thought this would happen to me. It's ridiculous." And as she recalled to Billboard, "I did an interview that afternoon, and then my song premiered at 9 p.m. with all my friends around for a barbecue. I was crying. I called my manager. He started crying. They added it to full rotation the next week." Johnny Run Away ultimately climbed to number 12 on Australia's ARIA singles chart, an impressive debut for an unknown artist whose sole musical experience was busking on the street.
To be able to go from that to like, this is ridiculous.
Johnny Runaway is a deeply personal song for Tones and I, as it's drawn from a true incident from the life of her best friend. As she explained to Blank Gold Coast, Johnny is about my best friend who was telling me the story of how he came out at a young age to a disapproving father. It's his story. I wanted to relay to people that we spend so much time judging strangers for their own decisions that we forget that they are going through judgment and rejection within their own family, let alone the public. She also talked about the song with Apple Music, as she noted, "I never knew the story about how he came out to his family. When he told me, he was so upset. I'd never seen him talk like that about a time when he felt shameful or wasn't good enough. He's super proud of himself now and has a great relationship with his family. When I decided that that would be my first single, I asked him if it was okay. He's been by my side through this whole journey." In March 2019, mere weeks after she uploaded Johnny Runaway, Tones and I signed a deal with Lemon Tree Music, a Melbourne-based management firm. As Lemon Tree co-founder Regan Lethbridge told the Australian magazine The Music, "I was sent a video of Tones busking in Byron. Her voice just blew me away, and I requested a meeting immediately. Tones is very down-to-earth, driven, has a vault of amazing songs, and has a voice that stops you in your tracks." The Lemon Tree team are incredibly excited to work with Tones and I globally, and also alongside her manager, Jackson Walkden Brown. After signing the deal, Tones was now being managed by the trio of Walkden Brown, Lethbridge, and Lemon Tree's other co-founder, David Morgan. As Walkden Brown admitted to the Industry Observer, "It's unconventional to have 3 managers, but it works like a dream. They know radio really well, all the practical things. We wanted to make sure we did the best for Tones." After the massive success of Johnny Runaway, fans were hungry for more, and Tones and I did not disappoint. In May 2019, she released her second single, Dance Monkey. If Johnny Runaway was a rocket to the moon, Dance Monkey was the Starship Enterprise. It became a sensation as it rapidly climbed the charts, and not just in Tones' native Australia. It topped the ARIA singles chart for a record-setting 17 consecutive weeks, and it also hit number 1 in a total of 22 countries, including France, Germany, Ireland, Norway, Italy, Sweden, Austria, and Switzerland. Also of note was that Tones became the first female artist to top the ARIA singles chart since 2015. By November 2019, Dance Monkey had racked up more than 500 million plays on Spotify, while also becoming the first Australian song to make it to number 1 on the streaming platform's global top 50 chart. As for North America, Dance Monkey hit number 2 in Canada and number 23 in the United States. It's safe to say at this point that Tones and I was a worldwide sensation. Like Johnny Runaway, Dance Monkey has a very personal meaning for Tones and I. It was inspired by the challenges she faced while busking on the streets of Byron Bay for a fickle crowd of bystanders demanding that she entertain them. As she told the Sydney Morning Herald, "The song's about when I was busking and how people are impatient. If we're not entertained in the first minute, we just scroll on. I could see that was reflected in me busking in the street. People wanted you to perform, to keep going, more. So I wrote a song about the pressure of live performance now that we have entertainment just at the click of a button." Tones also talked about the song with Billboard, as she noted, "It was one night where people just wouldn't let me be. I'd been busking for 7 or 8 hours, and I had done 6 encores. It's a song about a moment where I felt frustrated about how people had no patience anymore. If you replace the word dance with sing, it's pretty self-explanatory." For a lot of musicians, no matter where they're from, the ultimate goal is often to crack the American market. As for Tones and I, Dance Monkey was slowly climbing up the U.S. Billboard charts as it hit number 19 on the Hot 100 for the week ending November 30th, 2019. While she was gaining ground on the charts, she made her American TV debut that same month when she appeared on The Tonight Show to sing Dance Monkey. The performance went over quite well. The Music magazine, for one, called it stellar. And at the end of the song, host Jimmy Fallon strolled onto the stage to offer a handshake and his congratulations on a job well done. Meanwhile, the camera cut to the studio audience, who were all on their feet to give her a standing ovation, while the former street busker, who once lived in her van, beamed with pride and gratitude. That's a magical TV moment if ever there was one.
I don't really think about where I am at the time when I'm doing things, so I just play it the same way. But then afterwards, that's when the feeling rushes in. And
The ARIA Awards are Australia's equivalent of the Grammys. In 2019, Tones and I received her first ever ARIA nomination, and then she received 7 more on top of that. When the ceremony took place on November 27th, she took home 4 awards, the most of any artist that night. Her winning categories were Best Pop Release, Best Female Artist, Breakthrough Artist, and Best Independent Release. During her acceptance speech for Best Female Artist, she said, "Sometimes I don't think that I'm the most relatable female artist. I'm not into makeup or dresses or typically girly things. But to me, those things don't really define what it is to be a female artist in this industry anymore." She added, "It's being brave and courageous and true to yourself. No one could have ever prepared me for the whole world judging me and comparing you to other artists. But what's most important is that you have to be a good person and care about others and carry yourself well. Thank you to Australia letting me know that I'm okay just the way I am."
I feel sweaty, nervous, and excited and proud.
It's clear to everyone that Tones and I has gotten to where she is by being who she really is, and we bet that she's only just getting started. Check out one of our newest videos right here, plus even more list videos about your favorite stars are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.